Aya and Portsuya Ishida or Mayu Matsuoka and his elementary school classmates gasp at the arrival of the new transfer student Shoko Nishimiya or Saori Hayami when they discover that she is hearing impaired. While she is welcome at first and met with curiosity, Nishimiya's classmates soon grow tired of having to adjust for her disability. Ishida and his classmates start to bully Nishimiya for being different, targeting not only her but those who try and get close to her. A complaint is made to the school regarding the disappearance of several expensive hearing aids belonging to Nishimiya, at which point the entire class turns on Ishida, blaming him for all the bullying despite taking part themselves. As a result of the bullying, Nishimiya transfers away and Ishida is made the new target. After years of being ostracized through the rest of elementary school and middle school, Ishida or Miyu Irino has become a loner who is unable to look anyone in the eye. Ishida then decides to try and find Nishimiya to make amends for all of the sins committed by his younger self. Released in September of 2016, Koe no Katachi, or officially called A Silent Voice in English but more accurately translated as The Shape of Voice, received very positive review, but due to the hype generated by Kimi no Na wa or Your Name. Also released in 2016, the film did not get as much recognition as it deserves. Based on an original award-winning manga series of the same name written and illustrated by Yoshitoki Oima, Koe no Katachi was produced by popular Japanese animation studio Kyoto Animation and was directed by Naoko Yamada, with the being her third film as the chief director. Yamada's direction of the film was truly excellent and fitting of the themes that were addressed, constantly showing character emotion through body language and eye movement in a story where one of the main characters can mostly only communicate through pen and paper with others around her. The fact that Yamada often opts to not focus on character faces also aligns with how Ishida is unable to look others in the eye, often looking down or trying to avert his gaze when talking to people around him. The backgrounds are always lovely to look at while also containing much information. For example, there is also a consistent use of flower language throughout the film, with each apparently representing a character's feelings or personality in that sense. The coiffures that appears during the bird skins also carry meaning, symbolizing Ishida, Nishimiya, and the rest of the group. There is also the symbolism in the acts over the faces of others from Ishida's perspective, representing his outcast status. Although credit for this goes to Oima, this was an element present in the manga. Characters on screen are almost never still, which bring life to each scene. For example, during a dialogue between Ishida and his mother, Ishida is also attending to his niece, helping her by lifting her out her chair and onto the ground, while his mother cooks breakfast. In recent years, I've seen many animated scenes where everyone in the frame will stand still as only their mouths will move. This can make for visual dull viewing and can make what are meant to be interesting or intense scenes boring to watch if the writing is not good enough. Instead, Yamada provides aesthetically pleasing animation to match the brilliant writing of Yoshitoki Oima. Soya Ishida used to be a very social kid, but as a high schooler, he became a social reject who really makes friends with people due to traumatizing incidents that happened during his childhood. Shoko Nishimiya, his elementary school classmate, has a hearing disability and was a victim of bullying by Ishida and his friends. As they grew older, Ishida was feeling huge remorse over the things he had done to Shoko. She tries to set things right by trying to be her friends. With pleasing and symbolic visual and great writing to support, Kintsugai Ushio provides a soundtrack and score to match the soft and melancholy nature of much of the film will become almost erratic in some the darker and more intense scenes. The silence at many times throughout the film is also well done, as it was often used to give perspective to how Nishimiya heard things. Overall, the sound design always supported the visual perfectly, even if the upbeat music over some of the elementary school buildings seemed a bit out of place. However, I think that the music and the montage represented how the children didn't see the bad things in their actions rather than just being in bad taste. To label Koe no Katachi as a film centered on the potential romance between the two main characters would be wrong. This film tells a beautiful multi-layered story that comments of many topics, ranging of childhood bullying and growing up with a disability in Japan to teenage politics and suicide. Romance in element of the film, but for most of its runtime, it takes pictures of this hitting story of redemption. While risky of to open to the bully as the protagonist of the film, it actually ends up working remarkably well. Ishida did terrible to things so Nishimiya in elementary school, some things that can be considered unforgivable. It at first can make you struggle sympathize with the character. I mean, who in their right mind would want to see a boy who built and disabled girl out of his school success in whatever goal he sets himself and he sets any at all? Yet as the film keeps running, we see him receive karma for his actions and in turn he becomes a loner as a result. We are also shown that he himself believes that he doesn't deserve a chance at happiness and that he hates his younger self of the sins he committed. All of this, along with how hard he tries to make Nishimiya happy, makes the audience want to root for him despite his past beyond his reformed version of his ideal to find happiness. Nishimiya herself is not without fault as well, as by holding in her emotion and keeping a smile unthwarted all the bullying she is letting to bullying, he realizes their wrongdoing. Her innocence that want to not be a burden on others also leads to her isolation in the classroom. These characters are more complex than the level of villain and victim. There's much more going into the fact that there is not simple answer to this problem alongside the many other issues present throughout the film makes it feel all the more real and relatable. In fact, Rie Saito, a Japanese politician who lost her hearing at the age of 1 and a prominent member of the deaf community in Tokyo, suggested in an interview that the film shown in schools to young children to not only teach them about hearing disability but to also better educate on the effect of bullying. All of the characters in this story have flaws that make them seem very human. So watching them interact with each other is fun to watch when things are going well, while also being tough to shit stroke when relationships start to get rocky.